Hello, guys. My name is Shamika Upshaw, and I recently watched the King's speech. And that video that I watched was very, very interesting. The King had a speech impediment, and he somehow overcame that speech impediment and began making speeches in the public setting. The fact that he went from stuttering as a young child to an adult, but took the time out to say, hey, I need help, and went to go see a speech pathologist, and he actually assisted him with getting his speeches together so he won't stumble and stammer when he's actually presenting a speech. I thought that was very interesting. And a lot of kids today have disabilities like the King, and they also struggle with speaking in public. I myself struggle when speaking in public. Sometimes we fidget, sometimes we rub our legs, we cross. As I'm sitting now, I'm crossing my legs because I'm speaking and I know I'm speaking to the public. And that's something that, we have to work on as adults. So just imagine the kids that are in the adolescent age, and they're actually having disabilities that they are trying to overcome, and they're in the public school setting. And most kids get teased, they get talked about, and they get afraid to actually speak out loud in class when called upon. So I feel like the King's speech is a very great movie that can actually depict what other people are actually going through. He shows signs of closing his eyes, his fists tighten. He shows signs of anxiety while giving a speech, and you can tell that he really didn't want to give a speech. And that's how some children actually relate in a classroom when called upon. You may call a student and they may slump down in a chair, or they may say it really, really low so they can't hear, or they may not respond at all. And you may think that that's being defiant, but they actually are afraid to speak in public, or they're afraid, they may get joked on or teased on. So I think that video was a very good depiction of what students are actually going through today. And I feel like as educators, we are able to speak to the parents and let them know to give the children those communication skills. Have conversations with your students. Take your students to safe places and just have general conversations with them and allow them to talk and express themselves freely. Therefore, when they get in a public setting, they won't be afraid to talk. The King's speech actually showed me also that it's just not teenagers or adolescent, the youth, that actually go through having anxiety when speaking. It's us in our everyday life. When you get up and you get to talking with other people, you wonder like, dang, what was I doing when I said that? Or you kind of think back, oh, I should have said this or I should have said that. And it makes you feel like, well, am I not prepared on what I said? But that's just public speaking. It's an anxiety. It's a fear that you may have. And if you can find something to place in your hands, or something to look at, to notice while speaking, I feel like, that will also help you as well. The King's speech was very, very interesting, and I would like to watch the whole movie. I actually watched the 60-minute article as well, and it was very interesting on how they actually found the letters from the speech language pathologist about his sessions with the King, and they kind of looked at those in order to make the movie, and how he acted, and the different tactics that they used to get his speech better, for him to say that speech when they were going into war. And I thought that was absolutely great. As an educator, I would tell any parent, to speak with your child. Let them know that the disability does not make who they are. It does not own them, and they are able to overcome, whatever kind of disability they may have, whether it's a speech impediment, whether it's a communication, whether it's a auditory processing disorder. They have the skills and the knowledge to actually overcome that disability. And I want to let them know that we are in place to actually assist them, and we can guarantee them resources and more things that they can use in order to help their child. So I would definitely recommend the King's speech to any child that has a disability. most is importantly to have a speech impediment like him, so they can actually see that they can actually overcome anything if they put their mind to. And just like the king, he went to those speech sessions every day, and every day that he went to those speech sessions, he wanted to learn. He wanted to learn how to speak better, and he did, and he made the choice to actually want to do better, and he got better. Thank you for your time. You guys have a great day.